Hi, I'm Matt from Tabitaro. Welcome back to my channel. Uh, do you go to church? Do you go to temple? Do you go to mosque? Do you go out into nature and worship your nature gods, hugging trees? Perhaps my Wiccan followers will go out and do their Wiccan practices in the woods, out in the open. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm getting at. You understand that I'm asking whether you go to a specific place at a specific time and you do your worship. Now, I used to be a Christian and I used to go to the Methodist church, and I started going to the Central Methodist Church, which was right in the middle of our city. And I went to Sunday school. I was a good child, went to Sunday school. I was confirmed, I was baptized. And I just took it for granted that this was the place you would go and worship. We went to church, okay? I even taught Sunday school for about a nanosecond. Stuff happened, and I grew up, and I understood that there were certain things being preached from the pulpit that didn't agree with me, such as politics. It was the sort of dark days of apartheid here in South Africa, and there was a lot of fear and a lot of upheaval, and this was all sort of preached from the pulpit, and I don't agree with that. I do not agree with politics being preached by the priest or the imam or whatever. I just don't believe that's not what I'm there for. I'm there for my soul. I'm there to be uplifted. I don't want to hear about the riots in the streets. Okay, I hear that in the news. So I left the church, which was a big wrench, because I was completely lost. I didn't know what to do. I'd been brought up in this religion, and I was completely at a loss what to do with my spiritual needs. And then I realized that I could do whatever I wanted with my spiritual needs. Suddenly I was free. I was free from dogma. I was free from the feeling of being forced into going to church. And of course you experience this. When you experience this, you immediately start to try to understand other religions. You go out and you look. You don't search. I didn't search for a religion. I don't believe you need to do that. I believe a spiritual calling will come to you. A religion that you feel comfortable with will come to you. And after looking at this and looking at that, I have settled on a Hindu lifestyle. I do believe that I found the religion that really resonates with me in so many ways. And I don't, when I first became Hindu, when I first started following this lifestyle, I was very gung-ho. Gung-ho, that's for you, Justin. And people were very interested, they were intrigued. I would go to temple every day because, you know, this was my new religion, this was what I had to do. And I was even starting to learn a little bit of Hindi, and then I'd try a little bit of Telugu. And slowly you realize you don't have to become a freaking guru to follow a specific path, if you know what I mean. And I settled into this belief system. I settled into my religion, and slowly but surely I relaxed into it. I wasn't militantly Hindu. I wasn't sort of observing every single fast day and trying to pray to every single god, because there are like 330,000 billion Hindu deities out there. Okay, I chose what I wanted. I took what I needed from the religion, and Hinduism is that kind of belief system. You can worship the god that you want to, and you can worship that god in any way that makes you feel you are pleasing that god, any way that makes you feel whole and happy within yourself, and any way that will not offend the deity that you have chosen to follow, to worship. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Hinduism is a very gentle religion. It is a religion that has come so far in its journey into the modern world. And yes, it has changed over the years. Of course it has. It's like any religion, it's evolved. But it is the religion that speaks to me. What religion speaks to you? Have you always been the same religion? Have you always been a Christian who goes to church? Have you always been a Hindu that has being born a Hindu and comes from a long line of Hindus traced back right through to the Indus Valley, and do you go to temple all the time? Let me know down below. Give me a bit of a comment, and let me know what your spiritual belief is. I'd really like to know that. And I would like to know if you believe that you have to go to a specific place to worship. That's really what today's video is about. I do not believe that I have to go to temple to worship. It's wonderful. It's lovely. I love going to temple. It's beautiful. The temple that I go to it's exquisite. All temples, I think many churches as well. Even the modern churches, they can be so aesthetically pleasing, so beautifully put together and so gorgeous. I don't believe I have to go to temple to pray. I have a little altar set up in my prayer room upstairs. But even so, I don't go there every single night. It's not a ritual for me. Some nights, many nights, I have my shower, hop into bed, and then I pray whilst I'm drifting off to sleep. I don't believe I have to have a specific area that I go to pray. Whereas when I was a Christian, I was told that you can only communicate with God through being in the church. The church was the sanctum, the sanctuary. This is where you would come to pray. And of course, you would get onto your knees as a child and say, the whole Our Father, blah, blah. There's nothing wrong with that. Please, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. What I am saying, however, is I do not believe that you need to go somewhere specific to be religious. And knowing you guys the way I do, from all the people that comment, I'm sure that you would all agree with me, all right? But think about it carefully before you start going, yeah, of course, man, I totally agree with you. Think about it carefully. Is this something that you've only suddenly thought about? Suddenly like had an epiphany, like, oh my God, you're right, I don't know. Or is this something that you've believed all along? What I want to know from you is, do you believe that you have to go to a specific area, a specific building, to communicate with your God or gods or goddesses? Or do you believe that you can communicate with them anywhere, at any time? Are they there for you, with you, so that you can, when you're stuck in traffic, say a little prayer? Let me know down below. And I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you on the flip side.